Good afternoon, everyone. It's Chris. I wanted to share with you some very big updates we're making today to the IMS. I think you're going to be excited about these. We are. They are some major updates, a major shift in direction, maybe a different strategy moving forward, and the use of some different tactics. But anyway, I want to get into this right now, and hopefully it won't take too much of your time, but I think you will be interested, and I hope you stay tuned for the whole video here. The first update we're going to do is we're going to make the hot list a little bit hotter, or hopefully a lot hotter. We've seen in the past, in the old algorithm, these were some of the things that we were looking at. And basically, if a lead visited our website, clicked on a property, they got added to the hot list. Or if it was a lead that you talked to 2 months ago and they said they were just looking and they never came back to our site, they never interacted with our brand again, we put that lead back on the hot list just so it wouldn't fall through the cracks. That may have been a mistake. Not really a mistake. I mean, we think that those leads are still viable, but we want you to, when you see the hot list, we want you to get excited about it and know that the leads that are on there are truly hot, or more hot than the ones that are currently on there today. So the new algorithm, what we're looking at, is a lot of things that has to do with the consumer and how much they interact with our brand. So if somebody looked at 20 properties in the last 10 days, it's going to likely be on the hot list. They visited our website more than 3 times in the last 5 days. It's likely going to be on the hot list. Saved 3+ favorites in the last 5 days. It's likely going to be on the hot list. So what this theoretically will do is when you wake up, you may have had 20 hot leads, every day on your hot list. What we're hoping for is that gets down. I'm not sure what the numbers will be, but it's going to be less leads on the hot list, but they should be, more engaged with the brand, and hopefully, someone that you feel like you do need to actually reach out to. Another huge change that we're making, the lead transfer rules. Right now, you guys, you see the message, call, attempt, or email or text today, or this lead's going to get put into the prospecting pool. You also have your valiant efforts. We were asking for 6 phone calls to a not contacted lead. I think some of you will be happy to know that we're basically getting rid of all lead transfer rules. So you won't see this message anymore. You won't be forced to make a call to a lead that you believe is not hot. And you won't have to worry that that lead isn't going to be in your database tomorrow morning. Well, also, you won't see the grace days anymore. There won't be a need for that. And your protected list, the current leads on your protected list, that whole part of the program will be going away too. I'll share with you what we're going to do with those in a minute. So at the end of the day, 0 leads are going to systematically be transferred out of your database moving forward. You can still remove leads on your own, but we won't be transferring leads out of your database moving forward. What you will see moving forward when you see a hot lead, or there's a lead on your hot list, is a message like this. We need you to engage that lead, and we hope, whether it's a text or call or an email, that you reach out to them and just let them know that you're here, when they're ready, but we need to engage these leads. So I did put an arrow under text. That is going to be a major focus for us moving forward. A lot of people, we're getting a lot of good stories from people utilizing text more and more. Everyone knows that society barely answers their phone anymore. So we're going to let you choose how you want to communicate with these leads, and hopefully you really pick up on the trend of texting. So not a trend, it's been here for a while. But another change we're adding to this update is we're going to allow you to create your own hot list. If you remember, if you were here long enough, in the IMS 1.0, there's a little button you clicked and you could add a little symbol to a lead and mark it as hot. We're bringing that back. So your home page is going to look like this. Right up next to the hot, you're going to see an orange button called Agent Hot. And these are leads that you actually put on a list. Let me show you how you do that. Moving forward, you're going to see 2 flames next to every single lead in the database. The first flame is still going to act just like it did before. If a system scores it hot, we're going to change that flame to red. The only difference is we now have a white flame for any lead that's just not hot. So you'll still have a white or a red and black flame, but also we're adding the white flame. The flame to the right of the system flame is yours. Basically, this works the same way as it did in IMS 1.0. You just click on that flame and it changes colors. And it basically allows you to see that you said this lead is hot. And it will, if you click the flame again, it'll go back to white and remove it from your hot list. So if you've marked the lead as hot, it's going to show up right there for you in one nice list. And if you're looking at the lead detail page, it'll be over there. When you mark a lead as not hot, it'll take it off of that list. So you have the ability to mark leads hot on your own. The protected list that's currently in place today, all the leads that you currently have on the protected list will be marked as hot for you, as like you mark them hot. You can go in and unmark them hot if you want, but we're getting rid of the protected list. Some of the feedback we've heard for a long time from agents is, this lead is not hot. Why do you want me to call them? Well, we're going to give you the ability from now on to actually remove a lead from the hot list, the system generated hot list, anytime you want. Like in the past, if you clicked on that flame, it opened up a modal that showed you why this lead was hot or why the system scored it hot. That's going to still be there. But we did add a button up at the top where you can click on that button and mark the lead. It's not hot, and it removes it from your hot list. You don't have to call it, text it, email it, whatever. It just removes it from your hot list. The one thing we are going to ask is for some feedback. If you see a lead on the hot list and you don't believe it should be on the hot list, we want to know why. So how that's going to work, if you click that flame, opens up the modal, and you click that not hot, remove from the hot list button, another modal will open up and it'll basically ask you to provide us with some feedback. Why do you think this lead's not hot? This is how we're going to be able to make more improvements to this system, to the algorithm, everything else. But we need your feedback if you do take that lead off of the hot list. Another huge change that we're going to implement, or likely to implement, is ISAs. And when you remove a lead from ISA, meaning internal sales associate, we may call that something else down the road, but it's actually going to be somebody that is standing by to help engage leads when the agent doesn't take action on them, or when the agent says, look, this lead's not hot, we're going to review the feedback, but we want to make sure that there's nothing we could do for this lead right now to get them engaged or maybe get them closer to buying a house. So when you do remove a lead from the hot list, please provide us some feedback so that we can make a determination if we need to reach out to the lead and just let them know that we're still here for them and that we understand that they might be years away from making a move, but we're here when they need us. When you do provide feedback, please give us some quality feedback. Entering in something like C notes or I gave you feedback already. We're looking for something more than that. So take a little bit of time, give us the feedback so we can continue to improve the system. I'm sure there's going to be a ton of questions about this ISA program, and what I can tell you is it's still in development, but theoretically, what we're saying here is that if a lead shows up on the hot list, for example, and it's been on there for more than 2 days, and you haven't engaged this lead via text, email, or made a call attempt, um, we're going to put that in someone's hands that can review that lead, can look at the notes in the past, and look at what their activity's been on the website, and make a determination: should we reach out to this lead? In a very soft and subtle way that just lets them know that we're still here for them. Like I said, this program is still being thought out. Ideas are being bounced around on how to best implement it, and but I can tell you, the objectives of this program would be to engage, every lead that needs engaged, and to make sure that our best leads receive attention. And some of the goals that we're outlining in this program are, we definitely want to increase our conversion of leads, but we also believe this will give you more time to not worry about the small stuff, maybe updating gateway, or something where a lead replied to an email and they said, I need this, and this, and you didn't have time to update gateway or respond to that lead. We're going to pick up that piece, because we just cannot, when a lead engages with us, we need to engage with them. So hopefully we'll be able to increase conversion and give you guys all some more time, to concentrate on turning some of, these leads that are engaging into sales. So you'll see this ISA tag in the IMS for two reasons right now. One, if a lead is on the hot list for more than 2 days and you haven't done anything with it, you haven't reached out via text, email, or made a call attempt, this tag will be there. Or if you remove a lead from the hot list. Once again, that program is in development. We're still, got a lot of things out there, ideas out there on how to make that program really solid for you guys. So if you have any thoughts, let us know. But I don't have a lot of answers probably to some of your questions yet, but you can feel free to throw them out if you have them. Things to think about. One of the major changes that I think you're going to be hearing from your managers and from us moving forward is, we may need to take a much more, I want to say, softer approach with some of these leads. So I want to throw out a couple examples that I've talked to a few people around here about. Let's say you connect with a lead on the phone. Typically what they're going to say is, thanks, but I'm just looking. And we've been, training the 4 questions for years. So the next thing out of our mouth is, well, why are you deciding, or what is motivating you to move, or whatever the first question is, or how many beds and baths are you looking for? Are you looking for a particular area of town? Those are typically the questions that we use to keep the conversation going. I want you to think about maybe starting the conversation in a different tone. And I know some of our top agents around the country, because I see it every day, I listen to the recordings. This is kind of what the approach they're taking with these leads. Something along the lines of, I totally understand. Many of the folks I work with are months and sometimes even years away from making a move. I just wanted to introduce myself and let you know that I'm here for you when the time is right. Then, if you get a good feeling, you might start asking questions. But, we have to start thinking about this from a consumer standpoint. Just because they hit our website once and gave us their name, phone number, and email address doesn't mean that they even know what area of town or beds or baths or about financing or anything. They are just starting the process. So what we have to be, we have to install in that consumer's mind is that we're here to help them on their schedule, when they're ready. We're not going to drop the ball and stop, trying to engage the lead when we can, but the tone that we're taking with these leads It has to change, or we believe it should change. So, here's another example that I think you could think about. If you typically send this text to leads that you have no true relationship with, we don't know, about their financing, we don't know anything about these people, but we saw that they looked at a house a couple times on our website, and we send them this text. Um, you know, I think we need to reconsider and think about maybe sending a text like this. Hey Kyle, it's Laura at High Garden Real Estate, smiley face. I know you're probably months or maybe years away from a move. No problem. I'm here when you're ready. Here are just a few homes I thought you might want to check out. You know, something along those lines where we take the edge off of this, where we're not just the salesman looking for that next deal tomorrow. We're here as an advocate for these people over the long term. We are coming out with some tools shortly that are going to take a lot of that busy work off your plate. So stay tuned for those. You're probably asking yourself, these are some major changes. Why are we making them? Because every day we hear more and more stories how hard the leads are to convert. I just talked to an agent in Las Vegas last night, and she used those exact words. These leads are just harder to convert now than what they were a year ago, it seems like. Well, they are, and they take longer to convert. So we have to look at our strategy moving forward and make some refinements to it. Another fact is that fewer and fewer of our leads are answering the phone when we call, no matter if it's in the prospecting pool, through the lead router, or just leads in your database that you're trying to reach. Very few people answer their phone anymore, especially if they don't know who's calling them. So we have to refine our tactics, and taking a more client-centric approach. We're here to help them when the time is right for them. And if they engage with that type of conversation, then we can move forward and maybe start talking about where they want to live, or the financing, or why they want to move. But just a more subtle approach. Another tactic that we're going to have to employ and get really good at is maybe making fewer phone calls and sending a lot more texts. We see it every day in the IMS. Leads engaging with agents that are utilizing text messages. So fewer phone calls and a lot more texts is one of the tactics we're going to employ, and thus the reason for us getting rid of the lead transfer rules and forcing you guys to make 6 phone calls. One good text would probably accomplish more than 6 random phone calls. A hot list. We want you to focus on leads in your database that have the most potential. So that's why we're saying, okay, we're going to skinny down the hot list, but make it better. But we do need you guys to put some thought into each of those leads and think about how you could engage them in a way that might come across as maybe a little different, but you can stand out from the crowd and be there for them when they need it. The potential implementation of ISAs. This is another huge change for us, but it's something we are giving a lot of thought to, and it looks like we're headed in that direction. So, what our goals for that are to increase conversion, not let any leads fall through the cracks. But another major one is to take a lot of the busy work that you guys are doing with these leads off your plate, because these leads take sometimes months or years of follow-up and changing gateway and adding reminders and just all the little things that go into every single lead. It has to be done, but no one likes to do it. It's not the part of the job that we like to do. We like to sell houses, we like to show houses, and get our checks. So we're really looking hard at that, and more to come on that. Another thing we're excited about is we're developing a very long-term dynamic automatic follow-up plan. It's going to be much different than the one we're currently using. It's going to span the course of months and possibly years. It'll also incorporate a lot more text messages, emails with and without properties, to these potential leads to try and engage them. It may even include what we're calling a virtual assistant for every one of you, where it's a third, basically be someone that will be a third-party endorser of you, but it will also be there to help assist the lead throughout, the journey of just registering on our site, all up until they're ready to buy. So we're really excited about that. We're really excited about all these changes. I hope you guys are too. Um, if you guys have any questions, feedback, any successes out there that you're doing, if you're using a text message that's working or an email that's working, or you have a certain follow-up plan that's working, we want to hear it, because we definitely want the feedback, and that's how we can keep making this better. So hope everyone's having a great day, and thank you for paying attention throughout this video. And it was a little longer than most, but we really appreciate everything you guys do, and we're here to help. Thanks.